Thank you for joining Living on the Cheap and Trying to Figure It All Out. Today I'm going to talk about how in the last 3 months I have paid $2,700 each month. What? Yep, I have. And I've got it in here. This is my budget binder. It started, I think 2014, and it's only this big. So it tells you in the first few years I really sucked at this. But I thought I should keep it so that I could look back at my mistakes and not repeat them. At least that was the goal. We'll see if I actually do it. Anyway, so the last 3 months, I got onto the Dave Ramsey plan. We're on step 2. And on the first credit card, we had over $6,000 budget. Not budget, debt. And I wanted to show you here. I wrote down, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? How much I paid to the credit card. That adds up to $2,600 for the month of October. Month of November, where is it? You can see here. Can you see that? Did it again. 1,750. So this time it was $2,750 I paid off. We're on a roll for this month because this is a 3 pay period month. Woo-hoo. So hopefully, if everything goes well, even with the car payments, I think everything will go well. But not the car payments. Sorry, the car getting fixed. But if we get a little bit behind, that's all right. With the first pay period, I was only able to pay $830, as you can see there. But I am due to pay $1,000 this pay period, if everything goes well, and definitely $1,000 next pay period, maybe even more, because it happens to be a 3 pay period month. Those happen twice a year, just so you know if you do get paid bi-weekly. Not twice a month, but by every other week. Anyhow, what I've done in the very beginning of my budgeting was, I'm just trying to flip over to my budget form. I do this all on the computer, but I print it out. And the reason I print it out is because I like to write all over it. You'll see this one's not written so much, but there are some notes written here and there, kind of on and off, but that's how I do it. And I used to have something called, I don't know if you can see it, debt repayment right here, and it just had a lump sum. That didn't work for me because I was kind of spreading money everywhere. So I had 3 debts, and I was putting a little bit here, there, here. And I found when I had here, here, and here, nothing was dwindling. Nothing. Like, it just seemed like it didn't matter. So with the Dave Ramsey snowball, you put your minimum on this debt, a minimum on this debt. On your lowest debt, you put as much money as you can towards it. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. And I thought my original plan, and I'll show you the printout, I did my own Excel form. And you only have to follow the first top 3 lines because that's what I had. The first 3 lines, because I only have 3 debts, so ignore the lines below. That's why it's got funny writing on it. But I had $8,000 $8,000 when I started. And I was only supposed to be putting $800. I thought that's all I had to put towards it. Well, according to that, I would have paid off that first credit card in full July of next year. Looks like even with the fallback of getting the car fixed, I'll be able to definitely pay it off in January if I don't pay it off in December. I'm hoping to pay it off in December, but even January is still 6 months early. And I'm quite okay with that. How do you do that? Well, first, when I fixed my budget plan so that I have every debt paid, so it says my MasterCard, my line of credit, my Visa, and that's all on there. Once I actually put them on their own separate lines, things cleared up. It was kind of like my moment. And I found extra money that way. I have no idea how, because really the numbers never changed. The math is always right. But because I took out the lump sum of the 3 debts into 3 different lines, that it just made more sense. And I found an extra $1,000. Then I started selling things off. Things I haven't used in months, maybe even years. I started selling off stereo, an old stereo that we don't use. I don't know anybody who uses a stereo anymore. We use speakers. We have a surround sound on top of another stereo. And actually, we have 2 stereos. One of my daughters took one to her room. I'm kind of like, do you even play with it? Like, we should get rid of it. But she thinks it's hers, so she can't sell anything of hers. I also sold a bunch of craft supplies. Stamps, fabrics, stamp pads, craft making idea books, all kinds of things like that. games. I sold games that we hadn't played in a long time. I sold games we had duplicates of. Like, why do we have duplicates of anything? But we did. So I got rid of that. Pretty soon, because I have an 11-year-old, she's not playing a lot of the kids' games. They're kind of really too young for her. So pretty soon we're going to be selling off those too. Kind of like Candyland. 11-year-olds don't play Candyland. So pretty soon we'll be selling that. Also, when I have my budget, I put money into an envelope. I do the envelope system, and I don't carry the envelopes with me because I find I'm more likely to spend it. So say my budget for groceries is $250 every 2 weeks. I kind of work in it every 2 weeks. My budget's for the month, but my brain works every 2 weeks because that's when our periods are. And I have, so I have money in the food, and then I have money in transportation. And I put $120 there a month, so $60 every 2 weeks. If I do not buy gas that spends $120, whatever's left, so there's 40, 20, 5, it doesn't matter what it is, I will collect that up into a separate envelope called Pay the Snowball, and that extra money goes in there. So I've been actually collecting another $300 in unused funds from the envelopes. So I know, like, if they say, a lot of different financial gurus, I guess, would say if you didn't spend your $240 in food this week, when you refill your envelope for next week at $240, you should just leave the money that's there and top it up. So instead of $240, you'll have maybe $260 because you had $20 left last time. Well, instead, I take that $20 because my budget says I only need $260 a month or $240 a month. $240 every 2 weeks. I'm starting to jumble the numbers, aren't I? I'm not a mathematician. That's why I have it printed out so that I can actually take this with me to the bank and say, this is what I need in cash in these envelopes. And they do it for me, which is so helpful. I totally recommend doing that. Don't try to figure it out in 20s. Just take your budget with you to the bank. Go to a teller. It takes a little bit more time, I know. But in the long run, it's so much better. So yeah, I would take those $20 out of that food envelope or out of the transportation envelope or out of the extra entertainment. If we didn't use that extra entertainment, I'm not going to save it for next month. I put that all towards my first debt that I'm going to pay off, which right now is one of my credit cards. So that's how I found extra money. I totally recommend it. See if it works for you. Good luck. Thanks again, and don't forget to subscribe below.